Happy March, everyone. It's your friends from the Prime Real Estate team. We're recording this on Monday night, the 4th, because of course it tends to happen this way when the month kind of rolls over, just before the weekend. We're ended up getting stuff done, or we're having to wait for the report to come through the Victoria Real Estate Board. But of course, we're here to tell you about what happened in the month of February. For those of you who watched our recording last month, January was a busy month. In fact, it's been a busy start to the year, most certainly for the Prime Real Estate team. I know it's been for some others as well too. It has been interesting, hasn't it, Megan?
Yeah, it's been a quick shift, I would say, in the
Uh-huh.
last month.
Well, you're bumping into things, so let's start talking about that. What are you bumping into out there?
I have to say within like especially the last week,
Yeah.
almost every place I've gone into, we've turned around to go right on it and it's gone into multiple offers. And things that had maybe even an accepted offer on it that was subject to sale,
Mhm.
that subject to sale has fallen apart. We get a notification saying, hey, just so you know, it's fallen apart. Anybody interested? And then it's in multiples again.
Yeah. So there's where we're at, folks. And I think I probably mentioned that this month, or sorry, last month as well. We are bumping into a lot of multiple offers. We have helped a number of our sellers this year with bidding wars. February was definitely a busy month for that. Yeah, that's what we're coming back to. The interesting thing too is the BC government implemented this whole 3-day rescission period last year, and we were all saying it's too late. Like there's no point because we're not seeing unconditional multiple offers. Well, guess what? We are now. So it's getting
Mhm.
to the point where our sellers are waiting, nail biting for 3 business days until, that time has passed. So it's an interesting time. Let's look at the numbers as we always do. And as a reminder, folks, of course, the information we get from the Victoria Real Estate Board tells us every month what's going on. I'm going to put the link in the information below as well. But we ended up with 470 sales for the month of February. That is actually up from last year, just a bit, 2.2%. We went from 460 to 470, still up. Quite a bit higher than last month. We're 37.8% higher in number of sales from last month. We always, of course, look at the average price. So for a single family home in Greater Victoria, the average came in at 1,262,000. That's 3.5% more than last month, but it's down a little bit from this time last year. The thing that we also do look at every once in a while is this graph right here, which is the sales to active listings ratio. It's kind of like it's the what's the best way to say it? It's the indicator of whether or not it's a seller's market or a buyer's market. When we talk about here that if it's below 14%, it's a buyer's market. And if it's above 20%, it's a seller's market. Look at this graph here, folks. We jumped up. Suddenly, we're getting close to that 30% mark once again, because it means that there's more sales happening relative to listings. The good news is that we do have more inventory out there right now. We ended up with 2,364 active listings. That is quite a bit higher than last year, so it's 30% more than last year, but we are comparing to what was a really low year, 2,100 active listings. When you look at the few years before, basically we've had since 2017, so it's 6, 7 years of low inventory. But the years before that, in the months of February, it was common to see, as you see here, 3,400, 3,700, 4,000 active listings relative to the 2,300 we have now. So it's still a period of low inventory. I think we could have more sales if there was more choices. A few other things, folks. We were talking about the average prices. Like I said, we ended up at 1,244 for a detached single family home. Still off from the peak back in 2022. That was back in sort of April and May, where it hit the 1.4s kind of thing. It's down. Don't forget though, average gets affected by how many lower price sales or how many higher price sales. We look at the house price index. This is a representation of like an average house, what it's worth today, what it was worth 6 months ago, a year ago, all that kind of stuff. In the real estate board trading area from February 2023 to 2024, it's up just a little bit, 0.4%. So sales are up, demand is up. We're getting multiple offers. prices are inching upwards. Folks, I think for those of you who are waiting for the bottom, it has already passed. Right, Megan?
Yeah, I think so.
We are all expecting a busy rest of the year. Of course, there's more conversation about the rates being held yet again. So that's going to bring some extra confidence out there because people are less scared about rates going up. In the news, it has been either a hold or thinking about maybe a reduction in the near future. Last thing I want to chat about today, because there's always little bits and pieces out there in the news right now. You probably heard about the first time home buyer incentive, which was a CMHC, Canadian Housing and Mortgage Corporation program along with the federal government. This came out a couple of years ago, back in 2019. As a recap, this was a thing where a first time buyer could come in with 5%. The federal government would match for another 5%. They're basically going into business together with homeowners with the understanding that if the property value went up, then the government gets a little bit of that as well too. So this is going away after a very short amount of time. Our mortgage broker colleagues are telling us they never saw very much of these anyways. There people still get into the marketplace. They didn't need this, and a lot of people just didn't want to get into business together with the federal government. So it's kind of interesting, that combined with I don't think we talked about this one uh, on last month's uh, update, but there are yet more changes out there. There's been 7 different legislative changes in the provincial government here. Foreign buyer stuff and everything. It's crazy. There's something new that happens every day out there. It hasn't changed the demand, hasn't changed what's happening, it hasn't changed affordability. Prices aren't going down, folks. That is an unfortunate reality. As long as we still have people wanting to come into the region here and we're not building enough properties, we're going to have a pretty busy year, right? What do you think?
I think so.
Oh, and actually, it kind of doesn't help that you and I are the only 2 people in town working right now. Well, Afraz is around, right?
I
The,
know.
the other 2
Everybody else
guys
is
are out
off.
doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to keep on our toes around here.
That's right. That's right. Well, folks, hey, listen, I feel this is a longer one than usual, and apologies for that. But as always, if you've got a question you want to talk about real estate, something going on, you want to know about the market, you want an updated evaluation of your home, someone who wants to buy or sell, you can always reach out to us. We love chatting with you guys. So there we go. That is the sales stats report for February 2024. We'll be here for you this time next month, which is going to be around Easter time, actually, talking about what happened now. And I bet you. Number one, we're going to exceed last month's numbers for the month of March. Number two, we're going to hear more multiple offers, bidding wars. Things will get stronger. That's what's going to happen next. I can foresee it. You can foresee it too, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. All
It's
right.
happening.
It's happening. We'll see you guys next month.